Okay, folks, call the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge. Clerk will lead us through the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bonnie said she wanted to run the meeting tonight because I got a cold and I'm losing my voice. My job.
On you.
Good.
Oh.
All right, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes of the December 11th meeting? Any requests for corrections, additions, deletions? Not hearing any. These are the clerk's minutes. And just to our first public comment of the night. Anybody in the public wishing to add something to the meeting before we get into the juicy stuff of the organizational yearly stuff? Rob?
Living ADK items over with. As we stated, I think last month, you've heard that we created or are part of a short-term program. We're working with Adirondack Action and Adirondack Roots, both more for the North Country organizations, to try to entice maybe some short-term rental owners to convert to long-term rental properties. And we have a third Zoom event, education event scheduled soon. Now that we have the town of Webb's short-term rental permit database list, we know we want to engage the short-term rental owners that are not necessarily local here. So there's a lot of them. So we're planning to get the program out to them as well. Again, we know this is not going to be attractive to a lot of people, but maybe some people are getting a little fed up with the fact that they don't make enough money on short-term rentals, and maybe they don't want to have the property. It's not important for them to have it available so many times a year for themselves. So again, it's a program. We're trying something. So we'll make sure that we reach out to the Inlet Codes office to discuss maybe how your permit information could be shared so we could, again, share that program with those owners. Our Living ABK deed restriction program, we're still trying to work with Community Bank's lending department. Hopefully this month we'll have another meeting with them to review any last minute questions they have about the legal documents, because we do have a Community Bank customer who has a mortgage with them who wants to be a part of the program. So, but we also have a local Webb resident who lives in the village that doesn't have a loan on the property, and I think we're very near to a closing date on that property, putting a deed restriction on there. So that will actually be our first purchase. The bagel, blood pressure checks, and more events still go on through the winter, although now they're at Lakeside Terrace Community Center. For January, February, and March, it'll be the second Thursday, so it will be tomorrow starting at 11. While it's not generally open to the public, if you're a senior and you're maybe part of the SHARP program and you want to come by and see some of the resources that are there, again, we're just not populating it out to the public per se, but they are there and open to see anybody that walks in the door. The new food security program pilot, which is the senior delivery once a week lunch. We're still getting folks signed up for that. We're starting to receive some of the shelf stable items that have been delivered. We just really want to hopefully start that program by the end of the month. And again, you either have to be 60 or older or disabled or homebound. There's no income qualifications. We don't want people to think that, oh, I make, save it for somebody who really needs it. If we don't get people signed up for the program, there won't be a program. So we want people to sign up. If they don't like it after a few months, they can jump off of it. But let's get people utilizing the program. It's eyes on people. You're delivering it to their home. You're checking up on people. It's some social interaction along with a once a week meal. And Adele and Julie Meeks are really working hard with us to find people in the Inlet, Eagle Bay, Big Moose area to take advantage of the program. Let's see. As you probably have heard, there's a free marketing workshop that's going to be held on January 16th at Screaming Eagle at 5:30 p.m. We've got a local business owner, Jill Marsh, who's going to be the guest speaker. It's for-profit or nonprofit organizations. Again, free food. It's just a fun night. Let's see. I think that were you going to talk about co-housing, or was Amy? But Amy's not here.
Amy gave me, she printed out the application and she says it's gonna take her a little bit of time because it's 126 pages.
You're gonna read that tonight too?
No, I'm not reading. That's right. So she is gonna work on it.
What I've heard is that Town of Webb has received their certification award as a pro-housing community. I've asked the town supervisor to see that letter because I cannot find on the state's website
Okay.
where they are listed as a pro-housing community. So the first part of that, which I shared with Amy, there's a template that the state provides. Well, actually, there's
letter.
a copy of a letter from another town or
Right.
city that I've provided, an easy letter of intent that the town can submit. That's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second step, you've got two options, which you'll go
Right.
through, but Webb said it took about 60 man hours to download all of the permit information over the last, I think, 5 years
Mm-hmm.
into that, into those
Into the application, yeah.
forms. So it is doable, but until a municipality does that and gets accepted, there are, several grants that
Mm-hmm.
can't be applied for by the town. So that would be like downtown revitalization initiatives, near forward, Main Street grant.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's beneficial.
Yeah, she said once she completes this, they'll give her a portal and
Yep.
she'll be able to continue the process or
Right.
whatever once she.
It's an annual, like
Okay.
annually you have to update it with the most recent information, but
Okay.
hard part.
She doesn't do that every year.
They need the letter
First,
Right,
yes.
the letter of
Yep.
intent first, and it's real simple, short, sweet. You've got a copy of it.
Does she have to do that every year?
No.
Just the update.
Oh, okay.
Just the-
The,
Right.
the pain is gonna be getting all the past data.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But I'm sure Webb could be of some assistance,
Mhm.
a resource, since they've been through it.
Mhm. Okay, good.
One of the things that we were talking about at our meeting earlier too was about, housing, how hard for young families, seniors, single people, and our workers for the summer to have a place to live here. And so, yeah, it would be great to develop some sort of housing that, could be accessible to a lot of different people with the onset of COVID, the prices of everything has gone through the roof. So it's making it harder for people to move here or be here for any period of time. And especially with all these places that are Airbnbs and that sort of thing. So it's a big issue.
Mhm.
Well, at least there's some programs in the hopper, and I applaud you for getting that started. Because without those to look at, we've got nothing. Because since I've been in this chair, we've talked about many different items. We went up, I took the whole town board up to Long Lake to look at what they were trying to do for some, residence housing. And they wound up having to give that money and that land, sold that land and gave the money back to the feds because the income requirements at that point were horrible. So I think you've dodged some of those income requirements with these plans, with the setting the deed restrictions, some of the other things. So these
The
are,
timeframe of that was ridiculous.
Yep.
It was impossible.
it was.
So he killed it.
So, and tax incentives sometimes just, there's a downside to almost everything other than what we've heard recently. So hopefully let's get this going
It's something.
to start.
There's no one solution. And Bonnie, I can give this to you,
Okay, great.
or I can send it to you electronically if that's easier to.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? There's another public comment later. So if you think of something, no worries. That brings us to the clerk's organizational items. Is there anybody in the room that wants us to go through each one of these line by line, or are you satisfied with the fact that they're attached to your documents? They're available online, they're available in the clerk's office. These are the same things we do every year. I quite honestly think it's not a waste of time, but it's drags the meeting out.
Nothing has changed. I mean, I can point out changes.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
The only change really has happened is Charles Hare was not, was not listed as historian for some reason. And he now is in the resolution as historian.
I think that we've been keeping Letty in there, I think, for
Okay.
a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, I think that actually was the only, and then the, reimbursement rate for mileage is up to 70 cents per mile. But that was really the only changes I could find.
And the procurement policy, we haven't changed any rates, any amounts, and the code of ethics remains the same.
Everything remains the same.
Change our seats now.
Oh, yes. So you could announce the changes in seats. if you want. Yep.
Yeah, you wrote it down on your,
Oh, I can tell. Yeah.
the committee chairpersons. Now we have, change in what's printed on your page 11 near the bottom. It's now, groomer, building and ski is Townsend Schmidt, and then highway, parks and transfer station. That's the only change. Just mixing
Brown
things.
Yep.
Yep, just mixing things up a little bit.
And last year's organizational minutes did not reflect that Gina Greco is our dog control officer. And she is our dog. That's really the only changes. Everything else is exactly the same.
See, I used to read the whole thing. You got up easy. Seriously, folks, it's available online. It's available in the clerk's office. It's attached to the agenda tonight. Motion to accept the organizational items as printed and highlighted.
So moved. I'll second that.
This includes the procurement policy, the code of ethics, or do we have to do those by
I think you
roll?
should.
Each one separately?
Yeah, I think
Thank
you should do them each separately. Yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Call the vote on the organizational items.
The organizational Councilman Bronzel.
Aye.
Councilman Schmid,
Aye.
Supervisor Fry,
Aye.
Councilman Levy,
Aye.
Councilman Townsend.
We have a motion on the procurement policy.
Second.
Townsend motion, Schmidt second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the vote.
Councilman Bronzel.
Aye.
Councilman Schmid,
Aye.
Supervisor Fry,
Aye.
Councilman Levy,
Aye.
Councilman Townsend.
Aye.
Okay, and then
Motion on our code of ethics.
Offered.
Discussion. Hearing none, call the vote.
Councilman Bronzel,
Aye.
Councilman Schmid,
Aye.
Supervisor Fry,
Aye.
Councilman Levy,
Aye.
Councilman Townsend.
Aye.
And emergency management.
The emergency management plan.
Last one, yeah.
Yep. You want me to offer that?
Yes.
Discussion. Hearing none, call the vote.
Councilman Bronzel,
Aye.
Councilman Schmid,
Yes, aye.
Supervisor Fry,
Aye.
Councilman Levy,
Aye.
Councilman Townsend.
Okay, motion on the supervisor vacation fund.
Okay, so that was.
Table.
All right, we'll bring it up at the next meeting.
Perfect.
So that takes us to highway.
All garbage and recyclables, plowed and sanded roads, cleared parking lots, sidewalks. There's snow piles from around town to make room for more. Put some snow on the snowmobile trail, headed up the sidewalk about the point. Kept equipment shop clean. Sorry for the short list. Coming up, all garbage and recyclables, plow and sand roads, clear sidewalks and parking lots. Work with snowmobile trails, put snow on sides of the road to help preserve the trail in case it thaws. And shelf our roads to help accommodate snowmobiles.
It's looking good, by the way.
Seems to be working out.
Very good. Any questions of highway?
Highway has two things that he would like to encumber funds from this year to his 5110.400 general repair contractual budget line towards the purchase of a large culvert for Uncas Road in 2025. I don't have procedural answers on exactly how to encumber, but we have to make a resolution that it's
First
okay.
of the year.
Yeah, do you have a price?
I don't have a solid price.
Yeah.
It's right around 30,000, but I was hoping the Hamilton County Soil and Water could throw me some money. They were talking about it.
It's a box culvert or something you're trying to get?
No, it's a squash culvert, but it's like a 6-footer.
Yeah, I think on that, on encumbering, we have to have,
I can get a solid price.
right, but if the monies haven't been expended, they're going to the bottom line. They will be available to expend out of unexpended funds. So you can either encumber it or you can highlight the fact that that's what it's going to be used for. And when you do have the price, we can,
That's fine. I've
We can
never
make a
encumbered.
Yeah, we've never
Yeah,
done it. So we were kind of going back and
Yeah.
forth as to how to do it.
yeah, there's pretty strict rules on encumbrances.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't.
We're better to drop it down and spend it that way.
Well, yeah, because if you had a purchase order right now,
Yep.
you could encumber
Yep.
that specific
Right.
amount
The
for
item.
that item.
Yeah.
If it's something that could change the price, whatever, you're not gonna do it right away, you're better off. From the bottom line. later.
Well, and the money that hasn't been spent from last year is now after
Yeah,
paying bills.
yeah,
in the box.
it's not like it disappears.
So,
You know, it's.
New
yeah,
territory.
Yeah, it's new to all of us. Also needs a resolution to authorize highway superintendent to purchase highway materials at state and county bid prices and use New York State piggyback law when it is advantageous to the town of Inlet. So we just need, this should be, how did you learn about this or?
I just kind of tripped over it through a friend
Okay,
and like, wow, we don't do that. Well,
yeah, so they just something,
Yeah.
it's just something they want you to start doing it
Yeah, something we should be doing.
by resolution,
by
correct?
resolution, yeah.
Would somebody like to offer that
Sure.
I'll second it.
discussion? This is just following in line with following state procurement policies.
Yeah.
All in I don't think we need to do a call out that, do we?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so carried.
You
Trent,
got this speed study thing down here, you wanna?
oh yeah,
With that or?
we have submitted that to the
Yeah,
DOT.
okay,
I had
that's
said,
fine.
did you ever find out if they got it? You
I,
ever had it?
well, I found out a few things. DOT was supposed to get back, so I'm still waiting. I mean, I'll give them a call tomorrow.
Okay.
But, I talked to the town of Long Lake Highway Superintendent and he checked in his office and they never received anything. I was just trying to keep like, cause Glenn Regroup was the lead on that. I was trying to keep him in the loop and I found out that they didn't get anything from.
DOT.
Or from Glenn.
Oh, from
I think.
Glenn.
But, Mike was gonna talk to Glenn, so that's that. But as far as ours,
I meant to look up, I don't, wherever it said to mail it is where it went. So I'm assuming it's the county,
I
right?
think the county has to request it too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it had to go to the county. If I'm not, I don't remember it, but I think it went to Tracy.
I will make some phone calls tomorrow and,
Okay.
I'll reach
Okay.
back out to DOT and maybe I'll reach out to Tracy and see if, make sure they have ours and see if they've done anything. But if Long
Okay.
Lake doesn't request it, then it's kind of a moot point for that area.
Right,
They need
yeah.
to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not to throw wet rag on the situation, but we've asked in the past and DOT's standard answer has been they're not going to set a speed on a dirt or unpaved road. And it's an unfortunate situation that there's an attractive nuisance, so to speak, being the state campground 3/4 of the way back in, 7/8 of the way back in. Nobody coming from Rochester, Syracuse, Utica, or whatever is going to drive to Racket Lake and then drive into it, which would be quite honestly an easier ride. They hit the Uncas Road and they literally do start bombing down the road, and I've seen it, and I get it, but DOT's not unfortunately able to help us with the regulations they have now, but that doesn't prevent us from asking once again. Pointed it out, and maybe they need to change the regulations because this is ridiculous that somebody should be able to go 55 miles an hour on that stretch of dirt road legally, and we could post it illegally, but then we can't, other than, giving somebody a warning, the ticket's not going to stand up in court.
Make it a special area or something.
I don't think they're even going to put the yellow signs for suggested.
I wondered about those suggestion signs.
Um,
Those are legal. You
we're
can
not
answer
allowed to
them.
put those up either. Those,
I don't think we can legally post anything that's not.
Yep.
Law or right.
and I don't believe because of state highway law written the way it is, we're allowed to circumnavigate that under home rule. But again, let's reach out to Tracy and see if we can come up with something. Transfer recycling.
Transfer station's open 4 days a week from 8 AM to 11:45, then 1 PM to 6:45. Closed on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and closed from 12 to 1 daily for lunch. Building is clean and orderly. The garbage compactor is down for 2 weeks. We were waiting for a part. It has been since repaired and we are back in business. And the stump dump is closed for the season. I had that last month. I have to pick it up.
You had brought up that while you were searching for parts and waiting for parts on the compactor that, how old is that?
It's close to 30 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's 30, but it's close to 30.
So any idea, have you seen any pricing?
I have not. I talked to the tech that was repairing ours and I asked him if he could have his sales reach out to me just to get a ballpark to see where we go, to see how much, and get an idea of what we're looking at.
And I didn't know if maybe having the conversation with Tracy to see if there's anything under, now that we go with Fulton County or whatever, some of the other, if there's any grant money out there because I believe, did we get that under grant?
That was before.
I
my
would
time.
say the county paid that for that because we did the county recycling.
Yep.
Now we're not doing county recycling.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And it would be my opinion, once you find out the price, I'd do a study and find out if we just open dump it and take it up there to the county and pay a little bit extra trucking. Because we're probably one of the only towns in the county that are compacting our garbage because we got the compactor when we were using it. And so I would bet that not Long Lake has one.
Long Lake has one.
Did they have one?
They have one. They still do that. They have the
So
same
what
exact.
does Racket do? Take it to Long Lake and then they compact it, or they just take it to Indian Lake? That would be still.
Racket does open top.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I would see what it costs extra trips as opposed to, because they just open it back up when they get to Indian Lake anyway, right? You just open it back up, throw it on the ground.
They dump it right in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, that's this. So that, yeah, it just saves us some transportation.
Any idea the gain on transportation on that?
Ballpark.
That would be the question.
Yes.
Is compacted versus non-compacted? Do you have an idea?
Very light. I bet you, what do you think, Chip? I mean, we got a good guess, maybe 5 to 7 ton versus.
I mean,
15.
you.
So you're saving some a half a
You
trip?
just did one with that one weighed, when it was broke, that filled.
I don't know. I have to look at this.
I mean,
Curious.
we don't have to do it today and tomorrow, but
Right.
that's what we should look at before we spend
Yep.
$50,000.
With an open top is now you've got a bear issue and you have to put a lid on it, everything.
Yep,
That's the problem.
Racket puts a
cover
that goes right over.
just to cover.
We used to have them, but they're big and they're gaudy and
You gotta be careful. You
Yeah.
kill somebody when you put it,
that's right. It's very.
because it's a half of a tank.
Oh, yeah.
Or you have to,
Yeah.
or you have to put it inside.
There's still gonna be a problem.
We could go
Yeah.
back to having bears.
Well,
down.
covering it, putting it inside a building has got to be better than covering it,
All
I
right.
would think. But anyway,
Yes. Why don't we
Throw
take a
it
look
out
at
there.
some numbers and
yeah.
Let me work on some numbers and I'll come back next month and I'll let you know.
cool. Any other questions of transfer recycling? All right, we did live in 80K. Fern Park Master Plan. Got a meeting coming up?
14th, yeah, 1 o'clock. We're gonna reopen that all up and see where we left it.
Perfect.
Been a while and.
Nice.
And today you sent, Dell sent out.
She sent the whole thing out today. I started scrolling through it and
I
said,
didn't-
not now,
But no, that's different. That's different.
different one.
We're not there yet. That's two more down.
The core committee on it last time.
Right.
Park.
You sent me that a while ago, but I didn't read it.
No, just today.
But you sent me one before, but I didn't.
And I sent
I'm
one,
waiting
and I
for people.
included like, people that were on that.
Yep.
Email chain, and there's a couple that Ian Kiefer replied out already. right away that he wants to be at that meeting.
Nice.
And Jeff Condon,
Good.
he has a place on Gilbert Road. He wants to be.
Perfect.
So what you sent out today isn't,
That's the
regular
master,
master plan.
that's comprehensive master plan.
Yeah.
Well, that's two more down.
okay. I'm ahead of you saying, huh?
That's okay. All right, Fern Park master plan coming up. Communications, site progress. They still got some work to do up there.
Are both towers towering now? Are they phones working on?
The phones are working on both towers. The emergency communications is still in need. They still have some work to do up there. Weather got in the way. Winter came early
It did.
and work got started late. So, but I believe we've expended almost all the funds. 17,000 left,
17 left
$17,000.
of the crowds. Yeah.
And
Will be enough.
we're gonna have one more bill coming from construction company they want, now that it's winter, if they're gonna still go up there and access that and out of the contingency, they want to rent a tracked vehicle for themselves to use. I'll be dealing with them on that because it to try and say, the groomer can run them up there every other day or every day is gonna be ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. So, and that's per Mr. Corsani's not recommendations. That's his guidelines for, if we're past dry road use season, they have to be taking tracked vehicles up there. But we're close. We're so close it's not even funny. But if that's not done by Memorial Day, never mind. Were they
Snowshoes.
not on the tower themselves in the shelter? I'm guessing.
That'd be fun today.
I was just gonna say.
That'd be great.
Well, because part of the problem was some of this is the county work that they're working on. It's the microwave connectivity from Macaulay Mountain to here to Blue. And, if you think it's interesting getting up here, Macaulay's probably a little easier. Can't even imagine going up on Blue with the weather like this. The wind come blowing,
That would be insane.
but they're pushing ahead. All right. Planning board. Adele did send us all a copy of the comprehensive master plan as edited to this point, correct? And from what I read, looks good. I mean, a lot of changes.
Like change right now that I forgot to take out that, highway doesn't plow the state roads, and that was.
Yeah, I caught that earlier. I was for 60.
But it's close enough that I think that if we wanted to look at scheduling a public hearing, we could. Did the planning board have any desire? Normally with something like this, you try and get it to when we're going to have more people in town, but it's also would have been nice if we had passed this last year. So what do you guys, what's your recommendation coming from there? Nothing like putting her on the spot, huh, folks? Either way, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
I think the fact that we've turned it over to you now, so now that the public can comment on it.
Yeah.
We're good with.
Shouldn't we open and leave it open for a while?
Well, that's where I'm kind of coming from would be not a February public hearing, but probably a March or April public hearing. But I don't know if we want to, I don't think it's going to make a big difference pushing it that far.
Right.
In April, we could get some camp people if they really wanted to come and weigh in, but you've had this open now for over a year seeking updates.
It's available online, so people can, yes.
Access
they
it
won't
anywhere.
Physically be here, but they can actually.
There's nothing radical in it though. I mean, it's not like anything. drastic.
They're all updates, and even the action items, I don't think are to use your terminology, radical.
No, there's nothing. It's not like that. So I don't.
What are you, March or April?
April.
April? All right. So we're looking to schedule a public hearing for April. We'll probably schedule that at the next meeting. But
So actually, so when you schedule it, then you'll leave it open for a while?
yes.
So then do March.
Okay.
Yeah, open it in March and then, right? That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And then I carry a little.
Then it, yeah.
Carry it later.
For that matter, we could open it in February and keep it open through
You can
April.
open it now, right?
You
So
could
why don't we
technically open
let's schedule it for next month. 7:45, opening the public hearing on the comprehensive master plan update. All in favor? Or actually, do we have a motion on that?
No.
Somebody want to make a motion on that?
I'll move that.
Second.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Sorry. Anything else from the planning board? Okay. Police. Chief? We welcomed Officer Furlong on full-time yesterday. Monday. And did you already give us pricing on the side-by-side? Yeah. Has anybody had a chance to look at the agenda and see that I had placed that on there, and we're looking to possibly put a purchase offer in on the side-by-side?
I talked to him a little bit ago. I'm looking for a recommendation. He's looking for a recommendation from us, so. I think we're kind of right. I mean. Yes,
Yeah.
fire department purchased theirs. It's supposed to be delivered next week,
Weren't we supposed to
Andrew
do it
said.
together or something?
Well, they were trying to wheel and deal together, but
Get a better deal.
I don't know if we're all in the same. Are you getting the same thing that they got or not? Would you like to? Okay. Yeah, because Eagle Bay's was getting one too.
Legal base holding because of funding.
Oh, there.
Well, they're trying to get their boat thing done and then move on to this. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, because you think you get a deal on 3 of
It
these.
was a little early, but it really wasn't even the 3 manufacturers. No one really jumped on
Yep.
like it's that big a deal. It just,
You
they are
know,
what they are basically. But we did get the one that
yes.
matched the other deal.
Which is which one?
Which
you know?
was, well, CJ's matched Bibbin's price on the Can-Am. He actually did a little better. Then he upgraded the tracks to the Apache tracks, which is what we talked of. So it worked out in our favor for sure.
What was the
Going
bottom,
back and,
what was the bottom line? Do you remember?
they were like $300 apart between the Polaris and the Can-Am, basically.
Hmm.
And the fire department picked the Can-Am because of the 2 or 3 guys you're going to use to service them. Said, we know them. If you want me to service them, that's what I want. So Andrew's like, done.
Yeah.
Not going to squabble over it.
What did they cost? What was it cost?
39 with tracks.
That like bottom line was like 3,900.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of extras.
I was
So
gonna
I
say, is
mean,
that outfitted with lights, the whole 9 of the batteries?
that's
the
no
meters?
lights
No, no,
or
no.
radios yet. And there was a pump potential for the back. There's a lot of peripherals to go on them yet. So
Yep.
this was to get winch upgrade, Apache tracks, crew cab, heat AC. Trying to think some of the other upgrades, dual batteries. I mean, there was I don't have the list with me, but
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
apples for apples, you know.
Right. So do you have a recommendation?
A wish?
Yeah.
What did we have? What was the other one? We had issues with that, didn't we? Because it sat too long, I think.
Track issues, they were stored wrong and all the bearings went or something, wasn't it? Cost a fortune. to
Yeah.
fix that. Yeah, something weird.
Well, the Apache tracks are the best they got now. So I think that's what you should go with, even though it's a little more money, but he did put them in for the same money as the other ones, so. They had a Bibbins out of Weedsport. I've been by it, but I've never stopped, you know what I mean? So Tom is the one that had that one, you know what I mean? And I got the one from CJ's and I can't remember who had the Moody's Polaris and or somebody had that, you know what I mean? So those were the
Those are the 3.
3 that the fire department was able to deal with. KDK is in Rome, right? I never stopped in there. I've never been there.
Well, sure.
That's kind of why the fire department leaned that way. If somebody had to take it for a warranty or something, nobody wanted to.
Have we done any looking to see if this falls under the grant, the New York State grants for the snowmobile policing?
So, yes, it would. I spoke to somebody at the meeting, And they said wood, they can't give a definitive number though.
Right.
But I also had reached out, I found a potential grant through like rural. I have written down.
Yeah.
But I actually had spoke to them yesterday. However, we don't qualify.
Right, but the New York State stuff, if the money's there, we've been very successful with that in the past.
Yeah,
You don't get a full 100%, but
No,
the
but-
more you substantiate,
Yeah.
the more you show, the more they give.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't fall under.
Absolutely.
right.
It would bring up our total, which, yeah,
right. And you're gonna get back on this.
yeah, definitely.
There's no doubt.
Mhm.
So,
Right, we have vehicle money, if you're willing to wait an extra year on the next troll car. But, you know, with the fact that we've got the truck, the 2 cars, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Yes. The expedition is starting to have some minor issues here and there, but it's nothing that we can't get by with.
Right, meaning not putting an offer in the car this year, but if we put it off to next year, if the board is so willing to make a move on the Can-Am.
Make the motion, Joy. It sounds like a good.
okay, I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Fine.
Aye. Okay, that's it for the year. Your wish list is done.
Got it early.
No more bullets.
Snowballs.
Thank you. Anything else for police? All right, parks, building codes, assessor information, stuff's attached. I kept youth commission on there. I don't know why. Be lucky enough to have a bunch of people with us. Adele, anything to highlight? All right,
All the same.
all the same.
Not on my report, though, I do want to mention that the senior room, it started with Patty, and did you help?
Yeah.
Patty and Jennifer started cleaning that corner over there, that stuff from the Young at Hearts that doesn't get used or whatever. And then the Parks Department painted the walls, and they moved some stuff around, and it just looks great.
Oh, nice.
It had a habit of being a little catch-all in some areas. Nobody wants to get rid of something thinking somebody would want to use it or whatever, but good spring cleaning a couple months early.
It looks great. And at our task force meeting, we talked about using the room more too.
Very good.
Exercises and maybe some lunches.
Guys, the lunch on the table.
Yeah.
Just don't tell them there's going to be exercises.
That's right.
All right, trails. Chip, come on.
Working out the trail, trying to get it over the basketball. A couple axles out of the groomer's, I found a couple broken ones from pounding on them without snow. It's a drag already. Trails are coming along.
You've kept them pretty flat. With thin snow, you done.
Well, and I want to thank you for the pictures, and Adele, if you're putting them out there, whoever's putting them up on there, it's nice advertising what we should do, let people know what we've got going on. And just my one comment on some of the stuff that's still out there on Facebook, if anybody's listening online right now kept this thing on, I've got it written down here. Mother Nature's in control of the snow, not us. But when we get it, we can do something with it. But when Mother Nature and the sun and the warmth decides to take it away, some of the stuff, like, the road use and this, that, or the other. I can remember back in the day when you used to be able to ride the roads. Right now you can ride the roads because it's so dang cold, they're not going to thaw.
Mhm.
The cold.
You got the cover. That's what we used to have.
Yeah, you see almost every day, you always get.
Right.
You always.
Going up to the highway garage today, Limekiln Lake Road, even a paved road, has still got a coat of snow on it. It's the temperature, and we've got this polar vortex right now. We don't get them like we used to, but right now we've got one.
Yeah,
So if you're not here riding, get yourself up here and start riding now, because it looks. What's that? Yep. But I mean, even the center of the road, unless the sun hits it or whatever, it's got a coat on it right now. And that's
Staying
what the
away.
roads used to look like. And Granted, back in the day when we were sanding, instead of salting 28, you get to the middle of winter and you had to get out there with a backhoe and try and chip some of the ice pockets off there because it'd get corduroy pretty quick. We don't have that. And, you also have, unfortunately, with Trail 5 or our trail to Eagle Bay being so close to the road with the salt spray, you're never going to get them set if you've got a lot of use. It's just not going to
Too
happen.
mealy.
It's too mealy. But when conditions are right, I applaud the guys for doing what they can. I noticed the fact that you guys took the snow over there and put it up on the hill heading towards the boat launch. That makes a huge difference. But you guys have been doing that for years.
Yep.
So, anyways,
Aren't your water spots like frozen, Tom?
Still got a couple more.
Is there?
Yeah.
It takes more snow than you think, doesn't it?
Stubborn year, isn't it, with the water, the groundwater still moving?
I'll fix that.
but my one big appeal still is for people that are riding, ride with caution and ride careful. Have, play safe, have fun, but play safe. All right, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Time for the town clerk to get on hers.
I have my annual report of revenue. The annual revenue for the town clerk's office was $198,601.43. And that's available to anybody who wants to see how the revenue is broken up. Then we also have the justice's report of fines, bail, everything that we have to approve. I think I gave everyone, I think, a copy in your mail.
In my mail.
Yeah.
Your
and then
mailbox down in the-
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's probably just in your file, yeah.
oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
So how you figure out who's the harder judge, right? No comment. Motion to accept the Justice Court report from Justice Airy and Justice Levy. Probably good if you don't second this, Dan.
All right. I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye, abstain?
Abstain.
Great, and then lastly, am I mentioning anything about the mural?
And
They're looking, for a place still for the mural. And this must be the picture of where you're thinking, right?
that's, yeah, that was, we started a conversation with the Parks Department about it. Parks was looking at other options, but that, the task force completely thought would be the ideal location for it, which would be right out here.
Between the flagpole and the parquet? Kind of blocking the old Justice entrance?
Not blocking it, and actually not blocking it at all, but shielding Candor's house, so you're not like looking at Candor's house, you're looking at a mural.
Okay. More that way then.
There you go.
Yeah, and like Jeremiah mentions in that email.
Oh, yeah.
like there's like an idea of putting a QR code on the mural, on a sign next to the mural that would take people to a website or a social media page to see what's going on in Inlet, what events and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's definitely the way.
Looking to do some form of hardscape under it, because I picture it being a photo opportunity spot too.
Yeah.
Got benches, play rocks.
So you just cut out a hole and the people stand behind it.
And it can be the. My gosh.
I think it's a perfect spot. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like a good one.
Well, it's all the way.
Nice recommendation. You like it?
Oh, I do.
Parks
Okay.
was good with it?
Ready for a download spelled beans. I wasn't going to.
So he was trying to come up with a different location for it. He made some suggestions like down deeper in the park and stuff, but we don't want to hide it in the park. It's a mural that's supposed to be visible from the road, so.
It seems like the best place.
Still in limbo, then you're saying.
Visible by the road is gonna be a tough call if you're shielding Candor's house.
Yeah.
over here by the road, then it would be.
It's
down by
too
the
busy.
road.
I gotta side with Mike. It's too busy out by the road.
No, she means.
No, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Where we're saying, yeah.
Over here is
Yeah.
more visible by the road than
Yeah.
put it down by the bathrooms.
But the ice cream stand comment is very apropos because, that's their,
Hanging out.
that's where people, they got a lot of time in line sometimes, so, hopefully Parks comes around on it.
You'll help, right?
Sure, yeah, I like it, but I'll see what. Yeah.
All right, so we can say this was Tim's idea? All right, anything else? Clark?
No, I'm sorry. Done.
All right,
I'm sorry. Speaking of that, yeah, were we gonna say anything about, the money for the LED lights?
Oh, yeah, they approved the bill. That one bill that you all signed this
Signed,
yeah.
afternoon was we have to pay upfront to get the LED street lights.
And then they reimburse us.
And then we're eligible for a 6,500, did I say? I didn't bring the sheet up for a $6,500 rebate back. So
Yeah.
Make money on it,
you
basically.
actually, yeah, you're getting an incentive to do it, but you have to put the money up front.
so can we buy 2 or 3 sets of these lights then?
Yes,
What's the
do it every
turnaround?
6 months. We'll replace them.
What's the turnaround time to get it back?
To get the money back, I don't know. He didn't say. He just said, get the bill approved, we'll get the lights ordered and get working on
At
it.
least we're moving forward with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was some other money too that was potentially available.
Yeah, the last $5,000 that I applied for actually was kind of earmarked to this also. And then we lumped a couple of ideas like the EV chargers and all that into getting more 5,000, if the money is available. We just don't know if there's any more money available, but that was part of this last $5,000 grant also. Our police actually has a request for if NYSERDA does have any money left. He would like, you can explain it better than me what you want. Those windows.
Yeah, we have the 3 sets of windows. Station. I was thinking maybe we could kind of like what happened here with the core where they, instead of being the whole, like, I guess, reduce the size, kind of bring it up a bit. If
Ventilation, but privacy and security.
Correct.
And more energy efficient. and-
There you go.
Yeah.
Use the right words, use your words.
So that was another request maybe for another 5,000. Again, if there's still money left,
Yeah.
we're not sure.
Minimize window size.
Mhm. Yeah. And the windows are in pretty rough shape, so they will be more energy efficient and.
We needed those big windows when the youth commission director used to sit at that corner and keep an eye on the park.
Mhm.
So it's a little different now.
Mhm.
Yes, energy efficient, sorry.
Yes.
Then security, then ventilation still.
Okay, I'm done.
You're done?
Am I, Connie? Remind me if I'm not, because
We all have your night.
I know, exactly.
I've got snowmobile program down here, just as a reminder that, March is creeping up on us pretty fast. So I want to make sure that we reach out to town of Webb and make sure that we're still, on track for keeping things going. I think the season has started off in a good direction. But I haven't heard anything recently on new programs or anything else, but, before time slips away too far again this year,
I just had someone.
Yeah.
We talked about February doing something.
try and set something up.
Yep.
I have nothing for executive session. That brings us to the second public comment of the night. Anybody in the public have anything they would like to add? Sure.
Sweet, thanks for all you do and in the snowmobile trails, they're looking great.
Thanks for coming back to your second meeting. Very good.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I just want to give a little bit of an update, some of the feedback that I've been getting since Snowdeo weekend. It's been outstanding across the board. The opinion that's out there. It's the town of Inlet, and everybody and all departments in the town of Inlet are on their A game. The cooperative efforts and the willingness to work with snowmobilers is noted. It's very much appreciated. Sean's department's efforts to do the work that he's doing on Uncas Road, on Lime Kiln, South Shore Road. I've had many people reach out to me to tell me they really see a noticeable difference. And John, your explanation, I know I wasn't at last month's board meeting, but after listening to it, I thought it was more than sufficient, outstanding, and the feedback I got from that was it really was impactful with the snowmobilers that you took the time to just break down what you can and can't do. It may not always be to everybody's liking and what they want to hear. As you said earlier, things have changed, but it's what you're dealing with as a municipality. And I think that's the key takeaway. And those that understood that message truly understood, appreciated that, did take the time to have that conversation up front and not leave it for people to try to figure it out or understand if mandates have come into play, that kind of thing. And everything you are up against as a town. So that was very much appreciated. Chip's department's efforts and the work that he's doing, again, very much appreciated. Some of the feedback I've gotten there is the snowmobilers have noted that a lot of the work that's being done in the inlet trails is proactive as to reactive, which may explain some of the broken axles and some of the stuff that he's dealing with. But, and that's just, I guess, par for the course. That's what comes along with it. But doing that kind of work is we've had several periods where it's gotten warm, cooled down, and in between storms and doing some of that proactive maintenance before the next storm is big and sets up the trails nice. And I've asked people for feedback or any suggestions that I could bring here tonight. And it's just keep telling them to keep up the great work. We appreciate it. And Adele, I don't know, do you run the Facebook page?
Brittany does.
Brittany does, okay. The reporting that's come on that has been outstanding. People don't have to go, whether anyone likes it or not. We're living in a day and age where social media platforms are how people communicate. They want the convenience of accessing information. So it's very helpful when she puts those updates on the trails. I know they don't necessarily change every day, but when Chip does provide those and they're posted, that kind of stuff where people can get that information, especially people that are coming to the area, they want to plan ahead of time. They want to know what the conditions are looking like. It's extremely helpful. And also I know when I've reached out to Chip a few times, he provides that information so I can further pass it along on social media. Both Chip and Sean will tell you, and Adele as well, I don't call them, tell them how to do their jobs. They know exactly what they have to do. We're all adults, but we know how to work together, and I think it's working well. Also, it should be noted too, and I think it's important that everybody hears this, is that I've gotten word from a number of snowmobile clubs in the Adirondacks who are looking at the relationship Inlet has with its snowmobilers. And I've heard from a number of people say, hey, that's pretty cool that Inlet actually does that. And many of the snowmobile clubs are looking at the town of Inlet as a model to go work with their communities to try to have the same kind of relationship with the town boards, and looking at the things that both Sean, Chip, and Adele are doing with their departments to try to improve relationships for snowmobiling and winter tourism. A lot of good stuff.
Well, and it's not, I know you're from the snowmobile angle. It's the same, whether it's cross-country skiing, if it's mountain biking, if it's whatever. I always used to like to say Inlet has a habit of trying to find a way to say yes, within reason. And not everybody's cup of tea is snowmobiling. Not everybody's cup of tea is cross-country skiing. Not everybody's cup of tea is mountain biking. But, we've got it to offer if Mother Nature will let us offer it. So I like the fact that we've got a good team and people are willing to work together. So if other people want to emulate that, have at it. Because teamwork it's a trite saying, but teamwork, it does make the dream work. Thank you. No, thank you. All right, my computer just died, so there goes my agenda. Anybody else public comment? Not a motion to pay highway?
So moved.
As offered.
Second.
Second discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to pay general and sewer.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. All right, our next meeting is going to be on February 12th, 2 days before Valentine's Day. Give everybody the reminder to get the flowers for whoever. 3 days, 2 days, 2 days.
2 days. Still the 14th.
I was
We
combining.
can move it to the 15th.
April
if you want.
tax
I
day
like
on
to
the
move
15th.
days and all.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Thank you, folks. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.